To be honest with you, it was a bit surreal, really. When you're 17, you don't really think, you just kind of do. And you know, I remember I played in the FA Youth Cup final for Charlton as a schoolboy, and I had to ask my school for permission to get time off as we progressed through the rounds, and then played in the FA Youth Cup final. We lost that final against Coventry. That was 1987. Okay. And that was 3 days before they played Spurs in the real FA Cup final. So there was 17,000 people there, and as a 15-year-old kid, it was absolutely amazing. I remember my youth team coach telling me within 18 months you'd be in the first team, and I didn't believe him at all. But I was, and maybe not as a regular, but I played first team football. I think it was QPR, the first league game I came on as a substitute. My memories are just of feeling a little bit overawed, you know, playing with the first team, training with the first team as a 16, 17-year-old kid, and then going out and playing in what was then Division 1, the Premier League. So it was an amazing experience, and I certainly didn't believe it would happen, definitely not at this age, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and even at 15, if you'd have told me how it would all go, I'd have snapped your hand off. I mean, my memory of that day was, we kind of just felt going through the rounds, and I'm not a superstitious person, but what happened at Liverpool, where we came back from 2-0 down to win 4-2, against Leicester, where we got a very cheeky penalty in the very last minute of extra time, where it could have gone to penalties, I felt our name was on the cup. And what with Robbie scoring after 45 seconds, 43 seconds, whatever it was, you just kind of felt that it was going to be a fantastic day. I remember walking out from the tunnel. Again, I'd been more nervous in other games, and sometimes in pre-season games. I just wasn't nervous for this one. It just felt natural. And I have to say, from a personal point of view and a team point of view, it couldn't have gone much better. The FA Cup final was my last game for Chelsea, because my contract had run out. Chelsea had offered me a contract. I wasn't happy for a few reasons. And I was told that Benfica were interested, along with Deportivo La Coruña and Bordeaux. But the Benfica was the best option, and you know, I just thought to myself, a fantastic club, an historic club, and I signed. And I have to say, I had my best pre-season there. We finished second in the first season, and I would have stayed out there for many years, but in the end West Ham came in for me, offered me a very good deal. In reverse order, because I'm asked this quite regularly, third place would be Paolo Di Canio. I mean, he was such a special talent. Not the quickest, but he could, you know, have the ball 20 yards out with a defender and a goalkeeper. 6, 7 seconds later, the defender and the goalkeeper would be on their backside, and they'd be trotting the ball into the net. He was an incredible skill, incredible talent. Ruud Gullit would be number 2, because he came to Chelsea when apparently his knees were shot. Well, if his knees were shot, then I can't begin to believe how good he must have been in his heyday. But the best, I have to say, is Gianfranco Zola. He was, again, very much like Paolo, an incredible talent. His first touch was amazing. And we had some incredible players in that 97 side. And I wouldn't say it would go as far as to say this, but it was almost a case of give Franco the ball and he'll sort it out for us. You know, he was that good. The best player I played against, when I played against the likes of Bergkamp and Henry and Cantona, marked Beckham a few times. I have to say, the person that gave me my most difficult game of my career was Anders Limpar, when he was at Everton. And he was one of those where sometimes you could keep him quiet, other times when he was hot, he was very hot and you couldn't get near him. Unfortunately, that day he was very hot. Well, I have to say now I'm pretty okay with the presenting. The early days of that presenting was probably my most nerve-wracking, but I'm okay now. And with playing, yeah, I mean, there were some times where you get nervous, and there were other times, like my biggest game of my career, the FA Cup final, and I wasn't. So it's a strange one. It's a very good question, but I have to say I'm pretty relaxed about both now.